Hello everyone, welcome back to Code Glancer. I am Sudhir and today we are going to discuss how to send calendar invite in Java using the Spring Boot and Calendar Java email API. So let's start today's video. So I just want to recap like what we did in the last class. So in the last video we were discussing about how to send the email and we were able to successfully send the email, but that email was like simple mail message email and it was not having any attachment. Only it was having is like text as well as a participant list and all. So in this video our requirement is to send calendar invite along with some kind of attachment. Okay, so send calendar invite with attachment. So let's see what are the things we will be needing for sending the calendar. Okay, calendar invite. So first of all we have to set the subject, then we have to set the description and what is the summary. Okay, summary of the meeting, and then organization we have to set, like which organization is sending this uh, meeting invite and all, and then meeting link and event date and time. Along with that, what are the attendees? Okay, how many persons are there who are going to attend this calendar invite? So if you see here, we have a name, email, and participation level. They are required or not required. So these kind of detail, first of all, we need to set here. All right. So once we have set these kind of detail, okay, we can successfully integrate this one. Okay, so let's say where we were calling here, right? So in the last video I have shown you like email service dot send email and it was taking the email DTO. Okay, but if you come here this time we have something else. We have one calendar DTO, right? So calendar DTO already I have explained you. So these data we have to set and then it will work. Okay, so let's start now. So first of all, I am just going to tell you, I am just duplicating this line, and from here, once the interview is basically saved, there was a compose mail, right? It was a simple mail. So we have to again compose what you call compose calendar. Okay, so in this time we have an interview here, all right, and let's write the compose email method, which will basically compose the email, all right. So, uh, okay, so what will be the return type? So if you see here, we need a calendar DTO basically, right? So I am just going to write like this is not simple one, this is a calendar DTO. So now let's create it. Okay, so now we have here. So what are the let me add here to builder method, to builder at the rate builder, sorry, and we have to override to builder equal to true. Okay, so now we can use the builder design pattern. Okay, so calendar DTO dot builder dot. So first of all what we have to set, we have to set the, let's start with for very first subject. Okay, so what will be the subject here? So control V dot get. So in interview DTO basically we are not getting the subject, and even this is wrong. Okay, like we need a interview, not the interview DTO. Just give me a second. I am just going to correct this because all our detail are in interview, not in the interview DTO. Okay, so but in this regard, the subject I am going to give like, okay, I am because our DTO is not that much enhanced. Otherwise we can from here write it private string subject. So when HR will be scheduling that email, they will be sending this subject. And what else? So organization detail on all. So let's say organization detail is also coming from UI. So organization, or maybe like for the time being, let's skip this. We will hard code so that the video will not go very long. Okay, so let's say subject is like subject, what we can give, like int, yeah, interview scheduled with code avenue code, avenue code. This is one company name, avenue code. So subject, I am saying your interview is scheduled. Then what we have some kind of description here. Okay, so we can write like, so whatever the candidate name is there, so we can find here interview dot get candidate dot. Okay, so we will get here the candidate basically. And so in subject basically we can give dear something, right? So let me just write it, string format, formatter dot format. And I, okay, so your dear, maybe dear not required, only name, right? So percentage is interview schedule with code avenue. All right, so this percentage is nothing but name of the candidate, right? So candidate dot, we can get here name, get name. All right, okay, I think I am giving in the wrong place the name. Just give me a second, we have to give here. So name we have to give here. All right, because I am giving here the percentage is, right? So we have to use string dot format. All right, and then we have a description. So in the description we can give it like scheduling your first round of technical interview. So these may be dynamic, but for the time being we are just hard coding it. And then what we have, okay, so all right, so let me use here dot, okay, dot build. Okay, and we will return here this calendar. Okay, so this is done, but we have to set other details also. So what is the next one? So we have to set the meeting link. Okay, so interview dot get meeting link we have, and dot summary we have already done, not we have done. So let's say add the summary. Okay, so I am just going to give same summary basically. And what is next, we have to give dot, okay, set event date and time. So this is coming from the interview dot get date and time is basically event date and time. And then what we have, now we have organization. So new organization. And so let me check whether it is taking some parameter. Yeah, it is taking some parameter, name and email address basically. So organization is avenue code, and email is like avenue code info dot info at avenuevenue.code avenuecode.com. Okay, so this is the email address of this organization. So what is next? So what we have next, let me just check it. Okay, I am missing here. So we have a attendees. So let's create one get attendees method. Attendees, and attendees are basically who. So we have to figure out what are the attendees. So I am just, that's why giving the interview here. Okay, and let's create the method. Okay, so from the interview, first we have to find the candidate, because candidate is also one of the interview. Get candidate, and interview dot get scheduler, and interview dot get interviewer. All these are attendees. All right, so let us get these all. So shortcut is alt control V to get the object. Okay, so now we have all of these three. So if you open this attendee, it is having the email and name, right? So basically we have to create three attendees here. Okay, so let me create the attendees. Attendee, like candidate attendee, candidate attendee is equal to new attendee. So what is his name? So candidate dot get name, and candidate dot get email. All right, and even if you want to set the participation level, you can set candidate dot set participation, and participation level dot required, because candidate is always required. Without candidate, interview will not happen. All right, so we have now completed one attendees. So let's just copy and paste it. Similarly we will complete for scheduler in attendee, scheduler as a attendee. All right, so here we have a scheduler dot get name and scheduler dot get email id we have basically here. And then okay, all right, so this, and let me create one array list here to just add it. Attendees equal to new array list, and attendees dot, first of all I am adding the attendees dot add. So who is my first attendee? Attendee is the candidate attendee. All right, and then we have scheduler as one of the attendees. So we can write like scheduler as one of the attendee. Okay, so now we have done two, so we have to done do for interviewer. Okay, so let's just change it. Attendee as an interviewer, and interviewer dot get name, interviewer dot get email, and interviewer dot get participation level required. Okay, interviewer attendee dot get participation level required. So basically for scheduler it's not required, so I am just like HR will not be always required in the interview, so it's based on their level. Like if they want, then fine, it's their choice. Okay, so I just said okay, these two, and last I am adding all, and then I will return, right? Return, what is that? Return basically attendees. Okay, all right, so now with this we have converted the whatever the interview was having the attendees, and just entered here, right? So I'm just making all the places. So we have three kind of attendees here. One is candidate, one is scheduler, one is interviewer. So all these classes we converted into attendee class, and then we added into the list of attendees here basically. So now these attendees we set here. Okay, so let me check if there is anything else left. So attendees we have set, organization summary, meeting link description, everything now we have already set here. So that's all right, very nice. So compose calendar event will give us what it is taking. Why there is a error? Okay, so it is taking the interview, not the interview DTO. All right, so let us pass here interview. Okay, so all right, so now instead of sending email we can send it calendar event. Send calendar invite. Okay, and what it is taking, it is taking the this one, and this has some unhandled exception. So what we can see, we can try with try try and catch. Okay, so I am just adding it here. So now it's very important to understand here how I am doing. So first of all, I'll tell you, for doing this, I have added one jar here, and that jar is already in the last class we have added this jar, Spring Boot starter mail jar. Along with that, for getting the handy method for calendar, there is one jar called net.sf.biweekly jar. So you can add this jar so that you will get all the data very quickly. So our requirement was we have to do two things. One first thing was like we have to send the attachment, so maybe someone's resume and all. Okay, so but currently if you understand, we do not have a provision to send the file from the uh, browser, so that functionality we have not implemented. So for the time being, what I am doing, I just uh, place one file. Okay, this is a PDF file, all right, into my resources folder so that I can send this. So in coming video we can learn when someone is sending from the browser how it will go. Basically I will tell you S3 integration. Okay, so first user will upload the file into the S3, and when she will give the basically the URL of that file, I will get the data from AWS S3 and then I will send as an email. Okay, so you have to wait for some more time. So let's continue in this video. So first of all, we have, so earlier previous time we were sending the simple mail message, but this time we have to send the attachment. So this is not going to work. So you have to create mime message basically. So how to create the mime message? So we have already Java mail sender class. Okay, so Java mail sender bin, and then a dot create messages directly there. So if you call here, so this is having the create message. Okay, you can give a different argument as well, but I am just creating create mime message. So once the message is created, so if you open the message class, you will see like a lot of things here, right? So what are the things you can see here? So we can set the recipients, we can set the subject. So if you remember, in calendar we have already set some kind of subject, like what will be the subject line of this okay, calendar invite. So I am just setting the subject. So these two are done. Then we have to set the recipient. So but if you remember, in calendar class we have a recipient as a attendees. Okay, so here what I am doing, if you see here, uh, my message type dot set recipient, it can be from and to, but I am just setting here to. Okay, so to, and then get address, get okay, get addresses, whatever the addresses are there. All right, so attendees dot get attendees when I am doing. Okay, so basically if you open the recipient method, it is taking some kind of type is like let's say to or from, and then this is taking the address. Okay, address is nothing but internet address. So I will show you, this is a Java, basically one class of um, Java mail. Okay, where you have to give the addresses. Okay, whom do you want to send? So let's go to get address class. So if you see here, we have a attendees. So I have written attendees already. You know, like what we have said, set into the attendees, attendees.stream.map. So I am getting the first attendees, but we need a address. So this is like Java one. Okay. So we need Java mail address basically. So address is one interface. If you see here, this is a sorry abstract class, but its implementation is different. So what I am doing, I am just creating one here internet address. Okay, and I am just setting here attendees.email. Okay, so whatever the internet address are there, those addresses, like we have to just set here email, because if you see here participants, in the participant, when you are drafting any email or what you will add in the recipients, you will just add into some email id, right? So that's why if you see here, we are just adding as an internet address some email id. So what it will do, if you have 5 attendees, so in our case there will be at least 3. So all it will create the 3 internet classes, and it will return here, and then it will return basically as a list, but we need as a array. Okay, so I am just converting as a internet address array. So with this we are able to successfully set the two, okay, two participants. So we have set the subject, we have set the participant. Now it's time to set what? Now it's time to set the, somehow we have to create the two things. One is the calendar, and another one is the attachment. So as I told you, so there is no input of file, like which resume we have to send or which CV we have to send. That's why for the time being I have put my CV here, or you can say SKD profile here, and this is like hard coded here, and this I am going to show you like how I am sending. Okay, so for sending a file or attachment, any kind of things, you have to first create one class object that is called mime multipart. So if you open, this is also coming from Java X, right? So if you open the mime multipart and subtype, you can give as a mix, because we are sending attachment as well as what, as well as calendar. So first let's see, if you see get attachment mime body. So if you open multipart, so I created here mime multipart, and mime multipart is having some methods, right? So first method is like add body part. What is the body you want? Okay, so first body we want as attachment. So I am creating one method here, okay, which is nothing but creating one file, because we have one skd profile.pdf file, and we want to send this as attachment. That's why I am creating one file. Once I have a file, this file I am setting, okay, where in the mime body part. So this is one class again from the Java X, where you can set the file. So you create mime body part, and then I gave it given name as a attachment mime body part. So attachment mime body part dot attach file. So I am attaching the file, and then I am, so this is like mime body part, right? So this is the return type of mime body part. So with this we are successfully able to okay, set the attachment. So next is like calendar. So how will you set the calendar? So as you know, for setting the calendar, we need attendees and we need some other details like organization and all. Okay, but that is also going to be part of mime multi-part, and that will be added as a add body part, right? So if you see here, I have a method called create calendar mime body, but it is taking some kind of argument. So what is the argument? This calendar DTO, what we have discussed earlier. So here we have a organization, start date and time, attendees, all of these. So I am just giving it here, and if I go to here, if you see here, very similar to what we have done for this, right? So it also require mime body part. So I am just creating one mime body part, I am calling as a calendar body. Okay, so this mime body part, if you want to set as a calendar invite, okay, so you have to create one data source. So I am just creating a data source, and this data source is not a, okay, Java X data source, but it is Java X activation. I mean, like, this is not a data source of data source to connect to the database. Okay, so and then we have a byte array data source, and here you need a calendar as a string something, and then what is the type of what data source you are creating. So I am creating a type called text slash calendar. So this is like you have to remember here, and this is required. You cannot change this. If you change like that, will not become the calendar. So this is the part which is distinguishing it. Okay, like how it is calendar and how that is like attachment as a file. So once we have a data source, so in the okay, so whatever the MIME body you have created, you have to set one handler. Okay, so handler, if you open the handler, it is taking the handler as a one of the class. Okay, so here we have a handler. Okay, a transferable handler or something. So now this handler needs source. So we have already created the source, so we gave the source, and then set content type. So I am giving the content type as a calendar, text calendar, and char set utf and whatever, right? And method is equal to, I am saying like this is a request method. So now here one thing we are left like how we are creating the calendar. So here if you see, we have a create cal method, and it is taking calendar as a calendar DTO as an argument. So let's analyze this method. So first of all, I am creating one calendar equal to new calendar, and I am adding one property. Okay, this property name is request because this is going to be a request. And in calendar, what we have to add? We have to add some event. So basically, I told you like I have added one weekly jar, bi-weekly jar. So this is giving me way to create the uh, V event. So I just created one V event, and V event have lot of method here like set URL. So URL is nothing but the meeting link. So I am just giving here the meeting link, and then whatever the summary we have in the calendar description, and then start date. So start date is basically whatever the time, date and time from the user we are getting that, right? So if you see here, okay, okay, so while scheduling the interview, we are giving here some start date and time, right? So this date and time we have to set here, but the problem is this is taking java.util date, but we have here coming as a date and time, local date and time. So if you see here, this is local date and time. So I have to first convert. That's why I wrote one method get start date. Okay, so if you go here, what it is doing, uh, whatever the event dot zone, so whatever the system, like whatever wherever this system is running, if it is running in India, so by default the time zone of this system will be Kolkata and all, right? So that will be IST. If it is running in America or some other places, the time zone will be EST. So this is the default zone, and then I am converting into the instant. And from the there is a method in date class to convert, okay, instant to date. Okay, so all right. So this date is having basically date and time value as well. So now we got here date and time, but what duration you want, right? Like duration of the interview is going to be 1 hour or 30 minutes something. So by default I am assuming like this is going to be 1 hour. So I am just setting the duration builder dot hour dot build as a 1 hour. Okay, then we have to set the organization. So if you remember in calendar DTO we have already created the created the organization. So I am just setting the organization, and in the next we have to set the attendees, right? So how we have to set an attendees? If you remember, we have created some attendees into the uh, calendar DTO to whom we have to send this, right? So if you see here how I am setting here, if you go here, like we have an event, and whatever the attendees we have, I am just looping that many time, and every time I think I can remove from here because participation level already we have set. So event dot add attendees. So whatever the attendees we have, if you have a three attendees, so three times it will set it. Okay, all right. Now if you come here, at last in calendar, whatever the calendar we have created, we have to set the event. So this is a calendar, I am setting the event, and there is one class just to write all of these as a string uh, because we need something as a string, right? So by weekly dot write ical dot go. So this will give this all as a string. Okay, all right. So now let's come here. Okay, so now if we come here, we are setting this handler and then header. Okay, and already this data byte array data source is having some string and calendar type, right? So with this we are able to create the mime body part for calendar invite as well. Okay, so now if you come here, so we have first attachment and then we have a calendar. So I am these two mime type, whatever we have added mime multi part, right? So they in mime multi part we have two part, one is the attachment, one is the calendar. So this mime multi part we have to set into the, okay, mime message basically. So here I am just setting this a set content and this, and then finally I can send it. So java mail dot send as a mail message. So with this I am able to successfully explain you how you can approach to send the calendar invite to the user. Okay, now it's time for testing. Test it. So I am just opening the Postman. So if you remember last time when we were scheduling the interview, it was just sending email as a normal email. So now let's see, this time it should send one calendar invite. So let me just change the date and other data will be same. So I am just going to change the date like 20 February. Okay, so let me check whether my service is running or not. Yeah, service is already running. Okay, I'm just clearing all the logs and let's hit it now. So basically if you see like all these are dummy email, but one email like interviewer, this is my email, so where I can show you like I am getting the calendar invite or not. So this was in debug mode, so let it be. So once this is done, we can go to, yeah, now this is done. So sorry, let me go to the email and show you. Okay, so yeah, if you see here we have from yesterday, oh, there is one email, reserve your interview schedule with Code Avenue. All right, and these are the details. So if you see here we have given on 20 February 2023. So with same okay, and whatever the description, scheduling your first round of telephonic information. Along with that, this is whatever the attachment we have given, everything is working very nice, right? So we are able to send the invite. Okay, and whatever the in agenda we have given, what is the time, like it was 12:51 p.m. Whatever we are giving here, if you see here 12:51, so exactly same time there is one meeting invite and even you can accept it. And whatever the recipients attendees we have added, Romi, Reserve, Code Avenue, so all of these are also coming. Okay, so let me just accept this. So once I accept, it should go to my calendar. Okay, so let me refresh it and we have scheduled for 20. Okay, so if you come to 20, we have a meeting invite here, scheduling your first round of technical interview. So this is like description we have given, but heading what we have in subject, what we have given like name of the interviewer, sorry, name of the candidate, and then your interview schedule with Code Avenue, this is the company name. Okay, so with this everything is working very smooth, and we have given 1 hour duration. So 12:51 to 12:151 it's already taking. I have explained you while I was doing the code. And if you see all three guests, Sudhir Dubey, Rishabh and contact, so this is like a real email ID of Gmail, that's why my photo and everything is coming, but these are like dummy email. Okay, so that's why other details are not coming. All right, so with this I am concluding this video. So in the next video I will show you how you can send even with calendar, like how you can send the email with some kind of template. So if you see any let's say Optim Hire or something, right? So there is some HTML page coming on, right? So you cannot hard code every time the name and all. So I will show you like how you will integrate some kind of template, okay? And you can send that template to your whatever the candidate or whatever that is there. All right. So thank you very much for watching this video, and please stay tuned to this channel Code Glancer. Please do like and subscribe, because in the next video I am going to explain a lot of interesting things. First interesting thing will be sending the email as a using HTML template. Second will be like how I am going to do the integration of AWS S3 and Java to store the documents, whatever the resume we are sending. Okay, thank you.